Audio Jungle.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to my podcast once again. So I know you've been waiting for my review of this movie all day, so I'm here to give you that review right now. But you know, as a Mortal Kombat fan, I really love what I'm seeing because of the fight scenes, the plot twists and turns from the last events all the way towards the ending. Now, I heard some people did not like the ending, but to me, I don't have a problem with it because it's letting room for a lot of future animated movies. Because to me, this film really changed my life because of the origins of Kabal and Kuai Liang, of how those two came to be. Because Kuai Liang, he was such a cocky fighter, you know, wanted to prove everybody wrong because he was the best fighter in Earthrealm. But the beginning of the film, when Black Dragon and them call themselves trying to act like they're heroes, but they're not. But Kano, he was a freaking villain. He was a ruthless son of a gun in this film. Yeah, Kano was that nigga in the film. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because in the future, he has one eye. He's a half human, half cyborg that we all know and love. But he had the blade and he had the weapon. Yo, Kano was like it. Like, he had everything. He was all set. You double cross him, he'll shoot you right in the brain. He'll shoot you dead in the eyes. But man, what's interesting about this film was that when Kenshi was really curious about the soul or whatever about the saber, but what he didn't realize was that Shang Tsung was going to use him to become young and be born once more. And that is how Kenshi went blind, because he opened the souls that ruined his eyesight. And Shang Tsung in this movie, he was being Shang Tsung as usual. But the thing about this is that so many deaths in this movie, I feel like it was really unnecessary, because if you're gonna introduce a character, at least you can do is just keep them in the film for the most part. But what I've got from this film was that everybody dies left and right, because if you mess up one time, then you're done. It's like so many quick kills in video games and beat 'em ups, but in this movie, I feel like it was reminding me of Battle of Earthrealm, or Battle for the Realms from the tournament, of how Kung Lao was introduced and he was killed off left and right. Him, Kabal, and everybody else, which is a huge red flag for me. Now, to me, this movie is still good. I had a good time watching it. I love the origin stories of Kenji and Kuai Liang. Now, Kuai Liang was the biggest surprise for me, because I did not know the Lin Kuei was going to end up being the verge of killing these zombies. But just when you think that him and his people were about to die, he did the unthinkable by unleashing the power of ice that caused him to lose control. And all of a sudden, his people were killed in the battle against the zombie people. And so that's how he became this miserable old man that we see in this movie. And so when him and Kenshi form a bond, even though both of them were training, when Kuai Liang was training Kenshi, you can tell that this film was finna go crazy. The more he does the training, the more he's about to be better in fighting. But I just knew at some point that Kenshi was about to become a household name in the Mortal Kombat world. Because I feel like after watching this movie, we all know why he became a blind fighter. Thanks to the origins of this movie. But the fight scenes in this movie were very fun to watch. That were very entertaining to see. Because I personally really had a good time watching it, because Kenshi was the whole star of this movie because of the way he handled his sword, the way he fights the enemies, the foot soldiers, with the sword like he's Kratos of God of War. The animation of these fight scenes and the action sequences in general have been nothing but good. There's not one negative aspect about this movie was the animation for the fight scenes. And you know what? Kenshi, he's the biggest star of this film. And my favorite fight scene from him is him versus Tremor. Tremor is one bad son of a gun in this animated film, because the way he came off like a dickish villain up until the fight scene between him and Kenshi, even though he had most of his fingers chopped off, but guess what? He still fight like a warrior. And not to mention, he was the one that defeated Tremor. Now, Tremor may be tough in nails and all of that, but when it comes to Kenshi and the power of Tai Chi, you cannot beat that. So, Tremor took the L. So did Kira, Eric, Shang Tsung, even Kano. The final battle between him, Kano, Scorpion, and Kuai Liang. Let me tell you something. The four of them had a very nice fight scene towards the final battle. It was so intense. I just kept on watching it. I was on the edge of my seat because of the plot. And my favorite scene is when they always show Kenshi's blinding scene, when you know how you can't see, you try to see your visions. I'm getting that Daredevil vibes because of it. And you know what? The way they did it is just so good. It looks beautiful in animation. The blue and the black and the white mixed together just to showcase his vision. That is how you do it. And so there's another scene when they show the MK11 references, the time capsule. This really had me shocked. I did not expect to see this. I'm like, when I saw this, I'm thinking, are they using MK11 references? Because that is what they reminded me of how Sub-Zero's ending was. When him and Bi-Han got back together, started fighting evil once again. I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 5. It's a good movie. It has some issues, but at the end of the day, I was very pleased of what I saw. Shout outs to Mortal Kombat Legends for giving us a good film. What y'all think? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm out of here.